Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time, the push for infrastructure. New pandemic highs, new pandemic records all across the world in different parts of the world. Folks, this is some pretty alarming information. Vaccine nationalism, yes, you heard that right. Vaccine nationalism and an opportunity for you to spend $20,000 to play golf with a couple of individuals that you probably have heard of. You want to watch this video all the way through to the end, everyone? Welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. This is the DC Comedy Hour. It's an episode you don't want to miss. Let's start with the Vice President of the United States, Vice President Kamala Harris. And she said this about the American Jobs Plan. We are not going to take it one step at a time. Nope. We're going to take a giant leap. As Vice President Kamala Harris becomes another major proponent of the American Jobs Plan, helping the president get the word out there. Let's roll the tape and hear from the Vice President of the United States.
We are delivering real relief. And the American people are now able to breathe easier and sleep better. And we are not done. The President and I are ready to keep going, and we are not going to take it slow, and we are not going to take it one step at a time. Nope. We are going to take a giant leap into the future.
Let's hear from another individual who's helping President Biden to sell the American Jobs Plan to the American people. You have heard me talk about this before. There are many individuals helping President Biden sell the American Jobs Plan. We have the Director of the White House Economic Council, Brian Deese. We have the U.S. Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen. And now we also have the Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg. In a very interesting clip from President Biden's Twitter feed, Pete Buttigieg talks about infrastructure, tries to break things down, and tries to simplify it for the American people, since he is the new pitch man for the infrastructure plan. Let's roll the tape and hear from the U.S. Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg. Let's watch.
Ports, airports, rail, transit, infrastructure. I'm Pete Buttigieg. I'm the Secretary of Transportation, and we're here to find out how much of the American Jobs Plan I can explain in less than 15 seconds at a time. Infrastructure is the foundation that makes it possible for us to live a life of our choosing. It's everything from roads and bridges and pipes to the digital infrastructure that connects us to the rest of the world.
4 seconds left. Yeah.
Well, could have a little breathing. All right. The American Jobs Plan is the most comprehensive and ambitious investment in U.S. jobs since World War II. And I'm excited about it as Transportation Secretary because it's full of investments in our transportation infrastructure.
3 seconds left.
It's almost like I talk for a living.
10 out of 10.
10, geez, you're moving the goalposts, all right. There's urgency to update our nation's infrastructure because we're falling behind. We've fallen to 13th place. Strategic competitors like China are investing hugely in their infrastructure. We've got to not just keep up or catch up, but we got to lead. Moving the goalpost. Well, infrastructure includes roads, bridges, and highways, but there's a lot more to it than that. Our national airspace is part of infrastructure, having good airports, and of course, digital broadband infrastructure, pipes. You need water to live, so that's clearly part of infrastructure.
2 seconds over.
Absolutely. Look, it used to be that the thing you needed to be connected to the rest of the world was a road. Now, it's still true, you need a road, but that's not enough. It's as important to have a digital connection as it is a physical one.
Right on the money.
How about that?
Can we try that one in 5 seconds?
You want full micro machines? 20,000 miles of roads and highways improved or renovated to 10,000 of the most important bridges around the country, as well as 10 major economically significant ones. Ports, airports, rail, transit, infrastructure. Since when does America think small? If we want to be the leading country in the world and not just another country out there, then we've got to think big and we've got to invest big too.
Nice.
Yeah?
Good.
All right.
How do you feel about that?
That's good. That's good. It's good drill. Ben probably wants me to do this every day. So.
And folks, as we push infrastructure in the United States of America, globally, things are looking really, really bad. Here's a headline of an article on your screen from Bloomberg. Global cases hit weekly record despite vaccination. So what is happening is more than 5.2 million people across the world have been diagnosed with this horrific illness in the past week alone. And the record comes despite vaccine rollouts designed to slow down the spread of the pandemic. Let's take a look at this chart on your screen. Worrying signs. New infections worldwide hit new record despite the vaccine rollout. What you're seeing in blue is the weekly new infections associated with the pandemic. As you can see, this thing started and hit us in March, April of last year. It surged quite significantly in October, November, and December. And then things started to come back down at the start of this year. It looked like we were starting to get better. I'm talking about global trends here, folks. Global trends here. And by the way, this is something for us to learn here in the United States of America. We shouldn't get too comfortable too early, because globally, this thing is surging across the world. You'll see a massive surge in the past few weeks just as countries were starting to get more and more comfortable. I'm going to quote this article. India and Brazil are the two largest contributors in driving up cases globally, a race neither of them wants to win. Facing a sudden surge in infections, India is once again home to the world's second largest outbreak, overtaking Brazil after the latter had moved ahead in March. Hospitals across India and Brazil are under increasing pressure as admissions continue to rise. There have been cases in India where there have been 2 individuals to a bed. Yes, you heard that right. 2 individuals sharing a hospital bed because the hospitals are completely overrun. In the meantime, rich countries are now starting to vaccinate not just the adults but also younger individuals, while poor countries with elderly individuals all over the world are struggling to get hold of the vaccine. Here's a quote from Greta Thunberg, who is an ambassador on many international issues. I can't even do justice to her resume. You can Google her if you haven't heard about her. She said, this is a moral test. This is a young girl who is the voice of hundreds of millions of individuals all over the world. This is a moral test. We talked today about showing solidarity, and yet vaccine nationalism is what's running the vaccine distribution. In other words, nationalism within countries. Is the vaccine good? Is the vaccine bad? And political considerations like, hey, let's make sure our residents get it first, is becoming more important than vaccine distribution, specifically to those who need help the most globally. Folks, right now, there are poor, there are elderly, there are people dying in countries like Africa, in countries like India, that don't have access to the vaccine, while the developed countries, the rich countries, argue about civil liberties, while people are dying on the other side of the world. Let's roll the tape and hear from the one and only Greta Thunberg, someone that I deeply respect. Let's roll the tape.
Just with the climate crisis, those who are the most vulnerable need to be prioritized, and global problems require global solutions. It is completely unethical that high-income countries are now vaccinating young and healthy people if that happens at the expense of people in risk groups and on the front lines in low and middle-income countries. And this is a moral test. We talk today about showing solidarity, and yet vaccine nationalism, it's what's running the vaccine distribution.
Now, speaking of respect, here's an interesting tweet on your screen from the Congress reporter for Politico, Melanie Zanona, and she has an image of Senator Kristen Sinema, the Democrat from Arizona, who's the Senate's most colorful member as far as Melanie is concerned, who posted a picture of herself on Instagram rocking a ring that says, yes, she was wearing a ring that said that if you look closely at the image, and she's chilling out and sipping a sangria. Folks, this is a senator, a Democratic senator from Arizona, who is wearing a ring that says, you heard me say what it says, and who's chilling out sipping sangria. Let's show you this picture. Yes, folks, this is an elected representative, a senator, a Democratic senator from the state of Arizona, sipping a sangria I'm not exactly sure what she's trying to convey. Maybe she wants to establish a separate presence on Instagram. Maybe she just wants to, chill out. Maybe she just wants to be a media celebrity. I have no idea. I actually don't wear rings like that, just so that our viewers and subscribers know. But take a closer look at what it says on her ring. You can actually, blow up this video in full screen mode and check it out if you need to. And take a look at the rest of the picture. Yes, this is a Democratic senator from the state of Arizona, Senator Kristen Sinema. And speaking of excess, speaking of rather interesting things, you can spend $20,000 to go on a golf outing with former President Trump and Senator Lindsey Graham from South Carolina. They are hosting a golf fundraiser in Florida on the 2nd of May that will benefit the National Republican Committee. And keep in mind that former President Trump has called the Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell a dumb son of a. Now keep in mind that one ticket will cost $25,000. Let's show you the invitation on your screen right now. Here it is, the invitation. We are excited to announce a special event. Please join President Donald J. Trump and Senator Graham in West Palm Beach, Florida on Sunday, May 2nd for a golf outing. This event will take place at Trump International and has limited space available. More details will be provided upon confirmed RSVP. In other words, they're saying, hey, you pay, and then we'll give you the details. President Donald J. Trump and Senator Lindsey Graham invite you to the Trump-Graham Golf Classic, Trump International Golf Club, West Palm Beach, Florida. $25,000 per person, Sunday the 2nd of May. So folks, if you don't have much going on Sunday the 2nd of May and you want to spend $25,000, you could be playing golf with former President Trump and Senator Lindsey Graham. That's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. This was an unbelievable episode of the DC Comedy Hour. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I want you to know that I greatly appreciate you. Please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. I want you to know I work hard for you on this channel every single day. Please subscribe to our channel. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.